Hello and welcome to the second day of live talk here on Instagram, where I talk about the main blockages that I see in dating and how to overcome each of them so you can create the relationship that you want. So yesterday I explained the overall issue, that is an unconscious, unintentional way of approaching relationship that can impact who we pick and how we show up. And I mentioned that at the core of this conditioning, there are two main wounds. One of these wounds is regard to trust and to not feeling safe, having insecurities about the world outside and people you are dating. And the other wound that I want to talk about today is about feeling worthy of love. Not feeling worthy of love is the wound, and we're going to talk about how to overcome this, which is the key, is self-love. So first, I want to say that this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, wound that affects relationships, and that each and every one of us suffers to a degree about a version of that wound. And it shows up in our relationships, a romantic relationship, but not only. So it's going to make you go after a certain type of partners, partner that maybe are not available, who are maybe not into you as you are into them, people who are maybe not treating you well, who are not kind to you, people who may be not as committed as you. So it's important to know that you are not attracting these people by accident. A part of you is actually allowing them in an unconscious way to prove this deep belief that you have, I'm not worthy. You can also be going after partners that has a certain status or beauty or money, and you want them for validation to prove to the world that you are worthy. Other behaviors that can show that there is this unworthiness wound is when you go out in dating, you're not sure about what you have to offer. You're doubting yourself, like, would somebody want me? You're not sure you're special, that you're smart enough, pretty enough, etc. Another thing is you're not comfortable being seen. You have this lack of confidence. You want to hide. You don't want to be seen. You can also be attaching very fast. This is an indication. You ignore red flag, you go full on and you attach very fast to the person, because as soon as someone has your attention, you run for that person as if it was the only person that will ever love you. And often you have a hard time of letting go of that person, like you're really attached to that person as if it was your only hope. A way that the unworthiness wound shows up is also accepting breadcrumbs in a relationship, accepting or settling for less that you want in a relationship. So maybe just accepting sexual relationship if in fact you want a serious relationship. Something that is very common as well is the feeling that you have to prove that you are worthy. So there's this fight. You're like feeling that you have to prove, so yes, there's anxiety and these fights inside of you. Another thing is you are not comfortable expressing what you want in general in the relationship, but also what you want in a relationship. I see so many women feeling ashamed of wanting a serious relationship, ashamed of wanting love and having to say it, they don't want to say it. They feel they're going to come across as needy or hopeless or desperate, when in fact it's a very normal human need to want love. Another behavior is when you are in a relationship, you tend to lose your balance. You lose yourself in the relationship and you prioritize your partner more than your own needs. It's hard for you to set boundaries or to keep those boundaries. And also another way is that this lack of trust with yourself, like you don't trust that you can make the right choices, like you're second guessing yourself. You ask for your friends for their opinion, you don't trust yourself. So the thoughts that are underneath the belief is often not at the surface, oh, I'm not worthy of love, but it's sometimes, oh, I'm too much like this, or I'm not enough like that. I don't deserve love or healthy love. Other symptoms of this unworthiness wound outside relationships that I see a lot is in superachievers. So having always like super goals and setting the bar higher and higher, like wanting to prove your worth by your actions. And by doing so, maybe you also are a perfectionist. You want things to control everything so that people don't see what's underneath. Maybe an imposter syndrome of like, I want to hide who am I deep down, so I'm going to do so much and going to be so great at what I'm doing. In this way, you are looking for approval. And there is this often conditioning your happiness based on your achievement. So where it comes from, so it can come from real situation or perceived experiences of how you were raised, words or behavior or of your parents, maybe criticism, injunctions to do good, or lack of attention from your caretakers when you grow up. Or it can be maybe you were bullied at school. So whatever has happened or you perceived that you were not worthy, that as a human being, or that you were not worthy of love, or there was something wrong with you. And you carry this doubt, this belief with you. And yeah, it's planted in our minds when we're young, and our minds that are very fertile because they're immature, and our life water them, and we water them, we start believing them more and more, and it turns into behaviors and patterns, and it leads to certain outcomes. So now the solution to overcome this wound of unworthiness that again everybody has to a certain extent is, what is important to know is that it's possible to change it. It's possible to rewire. It's possible to heal this wound that is at the core. And to do this to shift, as I was mentioning yesterday, from this default mechanism, this default way of operating, this default blueprint, into something more intentional, more conscious. So first thing is to notice it. So go back and listen to all the different behaviors that I listed and see if you are displaying some of those behaviors in your relationships. So once you start seeing, you can start healing. You can identify, oh, this is happening. Okay, I'm getting a sense of what is underneath. And then the key is self-love. So self-love is really how you see yourself, how you talk to yourself, about yourself, and how you take care of yourself, how you treat yourself. So you want to remember or realize, if you don't yet, that you are worthy. Like this is a given. You arrive, you're born as a baby, and you're worthy immediately. Like there is nothing you can do to prove it, or nothing you can do that it will take away this worthiness. You just are. So there's this intellectual realization that I think is important. And then there's all this self-love that you want to practice, because it's really a practice. It's not instinct on the moment. You need to practice it. And it's to heal and give yourself the love that you perceived you didn't have at some time. So it's going to be accepting who you are, embracing who you are, honoring your qualities, choosing to see yourself as a beautiful human being over and over again, cultivating a loving inner speech. This is so important because we have such a strong inner voice, inner critic. So you want to soften, to moderate, to speak to yourself with love and compassion always. And then you want to take care of yourself. And then this practice of self-love, it can be it's really between you and you. And it's a practice, and then you want to use this when you're dating. You want to actually use dating as a ground, as a playground to boost your self-love, to grow self-acceptance, self-respect. You are going to do this by setting standards of partners, deciding who you want, which type of partner. Maybe you want people who are available, who are committed, who are kind, these basic qualities, but to set that and to keep your standards, to honor yourself by doing this. You also want to be able to set and keep boundaries, right? Maintain these boundaries is really a form of self-love, of affirming, I deserve this, I deserve to be treated this way, I deserve my time to be honored. You are also going to practice speaking what's your truth. So if you want a serious monogamous relationship, you want to honor this, you want to honor your desire, you're going to speak it out. Right? You want to speak your needs, your feelings. So again, it's a practice. And one very important thing also is you're going to take care of yourself and treat yourself with love and compassion when you're hitting a bump on the road, because obstacles are there in dating for sure. You're going to feel rejected. You're going to feel somebody's not into you. Then you want to be there for yourself. You want to have your own back and take care of yourself with a lot of love. And finally, when you are in the relationship, you want to keep prioritizing yourself, not forgetting yourself in the relationship, not being absolutely selfish, because this is something that you might think, but being grounded and taking care of yourself as much as your partner. And what happens is when you do this inner work of self-love with yourself, and then in dating, when you practice this self-love, is going to change how you come up. You're going to come up much more confident, much more like grounded, and people are going to feel this. It's magnetic. It's not woohoo. It's just like when you are sure of yourself, when you're sure of what you're bringing to the table, people feel this. And you're going to show up more naturally. You're not going to be playing games. You're not going to be pretending to be somebody else. You're not going to be hiding, being ashamed, not being sure of who you are. You're being like, no, this is me. This is the real me. And so when you do this, you're attracting people who want that authenticity, who wants that self-love. They're going to see you, and you're going to not lose time in playing those games of like pretending to be somebody else. So it's going to cut to the chase and filter out people, which is good. We want to focus on the good ones. And so, yeah, you're going to find people by practicing this who recognize your value, who treat you well, people who want the same thing as you, who are good for you. And with time, you're going to be less and less interested in people who diminish you or who leave you feel insecure. You're not going to be interested in those people who provoke this dopamine of this game of like, oh, he's into me now, he's not anymore. When am I going to see him the next time? And this like push and pull dynamics are not going to be your thing anymore. You're going to be into like, no, I want something healthier, something more secure where I feel good. So basically, it's going to make you much more effective in dating. Voila for today. So if you're watching live or in replay, you can pop in comments in the comment section or send me a DM. Otherwise, I see you tomorrow, where I'll be talking about the second one, that is about trust and lack of safety and how to overcome that. Have a beautiful end of your day.